I like talking the big picture because the big picture is really what can solve the overall problem. Now, when you say, what are you doing with Japan, what are you doing with the countries, when you put a tax on Japan for the products that they're selling, you will bring in hundreds of billions of dollars to this country, which can go to rebuilding our inner cities. Instead of giving Japan free military defense, you charge them for what they're getting, and you bring in hundreds of billions of dollars that if the right person asked, they would gladly pay, because they'd have to pay. We have a country that's losing $140 billion a year, at a minimum. I think it's much more than that, by the way, but at a minimum. It's tough to build housing for people. It's tough to educate people when you're losing $140 to $200 billion a year. What I'm saying is the United States is it's very simple what I'm saying. The United States is systematically being ripped off by many of the wealthiest countries of the world. The world should be based more on common sense. I mean, people don't even think. When I ask a question, why, as an example, why are we defending Japan for nothing? Why aren't they paying for it? Everyone says, is that true? Do we really do that? Nobody even knows about it. And then they think about it, and that's the end of it. And by the way, including politicians, top politicians, I ask them, Washington, I say, why are we defending Japan for nothing? They say, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm angry about it. They're angry for one day, and then they go on to something else. They're laughing at us. They think the United States is made up of a bunch of fools. They're laughing at us. Now, they don't laugh to our face, because then we get insulted, and then we do something about it. I will tell you, behind closed doors, they are laughing at the United States. They think we are the biggest fools, the dumbest people in the world.
Donald, you're waiting for me, because when you talk about the government, you're talking about my tax dollars, my puny tax dollars, going to you as tax abatements or subsidies to put up low-income and middle-income housing, which I would certainly be willing to do if somebody was going to do it.
Look at it differently. Look at it really differently.
Okay.
I want to tax Japan. I don't want to tax you. I want to tax West Germany. I want to tax Saudi Arabia. We keep them alive. If it weren't for us, they wouldn't even be here. They wouldn't exist. I mean, to think that Saudi Arabia would not allow us to use their minesweepers to police their own Persian Gulf is beyond me. I want to tax Saudi Arabia for the job we do in keeping them alive. They wouldn't be here for 20 minutes if we ever said, you're on your own, baby.
What did your friend George Bush say when you outlined this to him?
I believe that George Bush and a lot of other people, and George Bush is a friend, but I believe that they just don't want to make waves. They don't want to broach the subject. They don't want to become, as I said before, advocates. They want to sort of just keep it the way it is.
So what chance do we have?
The problem that I have with that is that I don't believe you can keep it the way it is. See, I don't believe that a country can continue to lose perhaps $200 billion a year. I really don't. Now, nobody knows what's going to happen. Who knows, really? I mean, nobody, the economists, I think it's a wasted profession as far as I'm concerned, because I've never seen one that's consistently right. But nobody knows what's going to happen. But I'm, again, somebody that has a good instinct financially. I have had historically. I followed markets. I've been going in the right direction, whether it's New York real estate or stocks or whatever. I know from a common sense financial standpoint that something has to burst. When a country is losing billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and when other countries are making hundreds of billions of dollars, something is going to burst, and it's going to start here. I know it. It's a question of when. To me, it's not a question if, it's a question of when. And unless we're going to solve our problem, and the problem is caused by our allies, unless we're going to solve that problem, this country is in very, very big trouble. And I'm not talking recession kind of trouble, I'm talking depression kind of trouble, and that's when we'll get smart.